What is up, obscure mic people? Not sure why I did that, but I did. It's Bark. I'm back. And I've got not exactly an obscure one in the studio with me today. Lauten Audio. Thank you to the guys at Lauten Audio, not only for sending this microphone over for the sake of this review, but also because I have been eyeballing this thing ever since Bandrew did his review over on Podcastage. There's just something about this microphone, the way it looked, the way it sounded. I was like, I've got to try this on my voice. I've got to have this in front of me. Lauten Audio came through. They hooked me up. No asking, no nothing. Just, hey, we saw your channel. That means the world to me. And this microphone right here, guess what? It's a keeper. It's a Bark keeper. Not giving anything away in the review. I just really almost just want to like hang it on a shelf or mount it somewhere and just put it on display. I just think it's a beautiful microphone. Let's take a look at said beautiful microphone in some B-roll. First off, you're going to get this carrying case for the microphone. It is one of the sturdiest, bestest, most prettiest I've ever seen. No, really, it's really, really good. Then you open up that box, and you're going to get a nice foamy windscreen. Now, the folks at Lauten Audio says this is very important to the microphone. Like, it is intended to be used with it. So we're going to use it with it in a minute. Comes with a hard mount, which is a really nice hard mount with a nice lever. I appreciate these little touches because that will be easy to tighten and untighten because of the lever, which gives you leverage. Then you've got this super freaking sweet, maybe the sweetest shock mount I've ever seen. Little short yoke, nice basket, not too big, not in the way. It's like perfectly fitted to the microphone, 5/8 threading. You get a adapter in the hard mount, by the way, but this thing is just perfect. This is the perfect shock mount. Size-wise, video intrusion-wise, it's great. I applaud them for that. Then, of course, you have the microphone, the Lauten Audio LS-208, an end-address broadcast podcast studio condenser. It's freaking beautiful. That's all I'll say. Is it like cutting edge of design world, like architect-wise? No, it's just cool. It's just different. It's a really nice, you can see the capsule there. It's got some filters on this thing, but let's look at the whole thing over. My God, it's beautiful. Well built, sturdy metal. Then we get to the filters and we've got a high pass. We've got the flat mode, 120 hertz high pass, and a 60 hertz high pass. The switch left and right. Then you've got a low pass. I applaud the hell out of this. Low pass, you've got an 80 kilohertz and 100 kilohertz, and same thing, slider, left, right, middle is flat. The fact that it's got all these passes is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And I intend to use every one of them in the video, but you have been listening to the microphone without the windscreen. I'm going to listen to the people that know better than me about the microphone they created. And I'm going to put this windscreen on this microphone. It may look a little phallic pointing at my mouth, but we're all used to that. And that's what she said. All right, we've got the provided foam windscreen on. It instantly tames a lot of that sizzle up top. Not all of it. It is a tad bit sizzly, but I've got to say it's in a beautiful way. It is in a pleasing way. I could listen to myself already. Haven't even played with any of the filters, but I could listen to myself all day on this microphone. Why did I put this on before doing the plosives test? That was stupid. Not the easiest thing to get on. It is easy to get off. But that's what she said. But we'll get there. Let's go ahead and do plosives. That way I can throw this back on and talk about it a little bit more before we do more testing. Talking into the front of the microphone. Let's go. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pineapple pizza. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pineapple pizza. Did I originate the pickled pineapple pizza? I hear people saying it now, but I don't know if it was me or if it was someone else. It was probably someone else. I take no credit, but I've been doing this since like 2018. Maybe it was me. Let's throw this back on. By the way, this microphone will run you $550 as of today, $598 when it's not on sale. I normally don't have super pricey mics in the studio, and I still don't. $550, like SM7B's $400. $150 more. That's just a little bit of extra saving change. That's nothing. Nothing. I mean, it hurts me if I, pay $550 for a mic, but it's in the grand scheme of things, these filters and all that, it's nothing. Off-axis rejection will be somewhat tested because rain has started falling on my windows. How's that go? No, raindrops keep falling on my head. Well, I'm trying to talk into a freaking microphone, and whoa, what the hell's that sound? It's raindrops falling on my shed. Head shed. That's what she said. Yeah, I am on fire today. I am just on fire. Lauten Audio, I apologize if this video gets a little too edgy or just ridiculous. My brand. But anyways, I want to talk about this a little bit more. End address, broadcast, podcast, studio microphone. I already am in love with the shock mount. I'm already in love with the package as it came. I'm actually in love with the price as well, because even something like the Rode Broadcaster, brand new, is going to cost you a similar price. There's a lot of microphones out there, especially of the end address condenser variety. Not a lot of those, but there are like the Earthworks mics, and most of them are more. So this $550 right now, this is kind of a sweet spot price-wise for me. I'm not saying it's like super cheap. See how I skipped a word there? Not saying it's super cheap or anything, but this is a fair price for what you're getting, and I'll quit gushing about it. Let's go ahead and do some tests. The windscreen is now on. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pineapple pizza. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pineapple pizza. Yeah! The windscreen really helps. I actually don't feel like I would need to talk off axis on this. I feel like I could talk directly into it because the P's are not really coming through, especially if you're being careful by not just pronouncing them. If I was just pronouncing them and not trying to throw a P into it, chances are I'm going to be mostly okay. So windscreen, excellent. And it makes the sound better for at least my voice. Now let's get right on top of the LS-208 from Lauten Audio. This is what it sounds like when you're right on top of this thing. Does not get boomy. You get more of that broadcast sound when you get close up on it, but it does not get too bassy or boomy. It still sounds nice and even. Lauten Audio, I'm already going to say well done on this because I just am, I'm having a real good time talking into this thing. Okay, let's go ahead and do off-axis rejection. I'm going to take, before I forget, because I am the most forgetful audio enthusiast guy on YouTube. Most forgetful, laziest, craziest, most boomery acting probably. Even though I'm not a boomer. I'm not, promise. Like on the verge, I'm like in the middle of Gen X and millennial. I'll claim Gen X, I guess. There's a lot of gray here. But before I forget, this microphone that is a condenser does require more gain than any condenser I believe I've ever used. That's not to say that you can't drive it with any interface, because it doesn't require as much gain as an SM7B, but it does require as much gain as most dynamics. It needs that much gain. And you know what that says to me? Quality. It says quality. Actually, I'm sure there's a really reasonable explanation for that that's not just quality. But then again, the components that need the power, you would think they'd have to be quality to need this kind of power. When a BM800, you can plug into a freaking computer's mic input and it gets all the power it needs because the components are shite in those. Maybe it is just simply quality. Anyways, just speaking off the top of my head, but you will need to give this thing some gain. Let's do off-axis rejection. Maybe we can find something not sweet about it. Here we go. Talking into the front of the microphone, the LS-208 from Lauten Audio. Now we're going to take it and we're going to turn it 90 degrees off-axis rejection. Are you kidding me right now, Lauten Audio? Are you kidding me? Are you being serious here? Look how beautiful that is in that shock mount that's fitted to it. 180 degrees off axis on the microphone. Dude, seriously, what? 90 degrees off axis on the mic. And then we're going to turn the microphone 180 degrees. Come on, man. Come on. For this being a cardioid polar pattern, I sure am impressed at the off axis rejection. Like, that's really impressive to me. And I don't know, man. I'm pretty big on using dynamics for podcasting, especially in untreated spaces, but Don't think this is going to cause you too much of a problem. Listen, I know I've talked into a lot of microphones. A lot of them sound super freaking sweet. The CAD E100S sounds sweet. The E100SX sounds sweet. Oops, just gave away that the E100S is coming on the channel. You know, there's a lot of condenser mics that sound really good out there. But for me and my love of dynamics for their off-axis rejection, and just the pure fact of like, it's the safe way to go when podcasting. Dynamics are just the safe way to go. I would never suggest you get a condenser microphone when starting a podcast or something, unless you're in a space that is heavily sound dampened, walk-in closet, maybe you're talking under blankets. Very rarely would I not tell someone, just when you're starting out, grab a cheap handheld dynamic and a way to get it into something to record, whether that be a USB to XLR, XLR to USB, or an interface, or even a portable interface, or there's a million different ways to just get solid audio. I don't even think you need a good interface. You just need something and a good, decent, not even decent, just a cheap handheld dynamic when starting. That's what you should do, just to see if you like it and not spend a bunch of money. But for the people that are looking to upgrade their microphone, I'm not really worried about needing a dynamic. I feel like I could take this anywhere and record with it. I really do. All right, I'm done. I'm sorry. This is a long one. I'm excited. It's not every day that I get a mic of this quality, not only in the studio, but sent to me by an audio company. Again, from the heart. Appreciate it. Let's go through some filters. We're going to use the high pass. I'll try to mix them. It's going to take a minute. Bear with me. Let's see what we got here. Let's first go with the 120 hertz high pass here. I'm going to turn that on now. Oh man, that smooth little click there. I didn't hear anything in my headphones, but we've got the 150 hertz high pass filter on now. This is what that sounds like. Let's palette cleanse back to the beginning. This is without the 150 hertz. That's a nice, gentle 150 hertz roll off. Let's go to the 50. All right, we're now on the 50 hertz roll off. This is what that sounds like. Gets a little smooth there. A little smooth there. Okay, so let's go back to the flat mode. And now we're back on the flat mode. Those are really solid high passes because they do what they're intended to do. That's going to cut off some low end rumble, but it's not going to take a ton of low end from your voice. That was really impressive. Let's go to the low pass now. I said these wrong in the unboxing video. This is 8 kilohertz and 10 kilohertz. I just got overly excited. Let's go to the 8 kilohertz low pass now. All right, that one did provide a little pop in the headphones there, but this is the 8 kilohertz low pass. Now this I would not want engaged by itself because I think it muddies up the sound of the microphone considerably, but that's on my voice. If you have a higher pitched voice, or maybe this is going to be used to mic up Mariah Carey and she goes, she might sound great on this. Let's go to the 10 kilohertz low pass. All right, now we're on the 10 kilohertz low pass. So the 10 kilohertz low pass works better on my voice, takes a lot of that top end sizzle away. There's still some there, and there's a little bit of sibilance as well. Yep, just a little bit, but I like that better than the 8 kilohertz low pass. But I gotta say, I actually like the low pass off, which is kind of surprising because I like my low end. I like my beefy baby sound. I think I actually like the brightness of this mic on my voice. Now, to me, those filter switches are going to make this usable for just about any voice, and I think that was the intended use with those filters on this microphone. Let's go back to that 10 kilohertz pass real quick. All right, now we got that 10 kilohertz pass enabled yet again, and I gotta say, even though it is brighter than an SM7B, this feels a little bit SM7B-ish to me. It feels like that smoother, but a little sibilant. I definitely catch the sibilant. But it's that smoother sound. If I could throw a de-esser on this, I'd be in business. But I still think I like the flat sound. There we go back in flat, which is surprising to me. See, the S's aren't quite as bad in my opinion, but I like it flat. I really do. I'm kind of shocked that I like this microphone in flat mode. I thought I would love a low pass on it just because I like the low end, but no. I think I like exactly what's happening with both filters switched on. Real quick, I'll mix and match. Let's go with the 120 hertz high pass. Now the 120 hertz high pass is on. Now we're going to go to the 8 kilohertz low pass. Now we've got the high pass and the low pass on. That just does not work for me. Let's go to the 10 kilohertz low pass with the 120 hertz high pass. Now we've got the 10 kilohertz low pass combined with the 120 hertz high pass. See how I keep jump cutting there because I keep having to look at what the filters are. Numbers, me and numbers, math, not a good thing. Excel, definitely not a good thing. And in the business I work in, that's not a good thing. 10 kilohertz low pass, 120 hertz high pass. Let's switch. Now we've got the 80 hertz high pass with the 10 kilohertz low pass. I'm going to confuse myself real quick here, and the sibilance just starts to shine. Shine on me, you crazy diamond. All right, let's go back to flat. I think this microphone is going to be my new daily driver. Is there a mic in my studio that might sound better on my voice? That's possible, but I don't like any of them aesthetically, build-wise, shock mount. I just need a little bit of a de-esser. That's it. This definitely makes me a little sibilant, but that's okay. That's what a de-esser is for. Take a little bit of that off there. Good to go. I'm really impressed with this microphone. Like, seriously impressed with the LS-208. Let's BB-SAR this thing up right now. Before I do that, using the same interface I've used on the last handful of videos, Vocaster 1 from Focusrite. No processing enabled. It's raw audio from the mic, but I digress. On the BB-SAR, the Bark & Bronson standardized audio rating system. Maybe it should be called BB-SARs. BB-SARs. Baby dinosaurs, Babysaurus on the BB-SAR. I'm going to give the Lauten Audio LS-208 a score of a 9. It is great. I find it to be great. Again, I'm going to need a de-esser when I use this more. There's not really any way around that, but I am okay with that. And that's the one thing that is keeping this microphone from being a 10 is the fact that it is fairly sibilant to my ears. Maybe it's nothing crazy. Maybe I'm just noticing it now. Maybe I should have noticed it before. Maybe MEI Studios, maybe PAGS has got me thinking about sibilance a lot more. I don't know. The LS-208 is great. I'm not going to hate. It is great. I'm really glad that Lauten Audio was able to facilitate this mic being in front of my grate. GRATE. This might be my most annoying video I've ever made. I apologize. But let me know all your comments down below. I want to hear them all because I am a really already big fan of this microphone. I just don't get this excited that often. Now I want 3 of these for my podcast table. Donner P08's out, LS-208's in. I need 2 more. Thank you guys all for sitting through this one, listening to my ridiculousness, and hopefully you enjoyed the Lauten Audio LS-208. If you didn't, tell me why. If you did, tell me why. Tell me why. Now I'm going to go watch Bill Nye the Science Guy. And hopefully he'll teach me how to fly. Maybe I could learn to fly. Or maybe I just want to fly. Be my butterfly. Sugar. Baby. I gotta go. Thank you guys. I'll see you on the next one. Obscure Mics. Peace out.